God says, a big surprise will come into your life if you open your heart right now, for I have been watching you through every tear, every silent prayer, every sleepless night, and every moment when you thought that nothing was moving in your favor. But I want you to know that behind the scenes I have been working in ways you could not see, arranging circumstances, shifting energies, moving people into place, and preparing blessings so magnificent that when they arrive you will understand why I asked you to be patient, why I asked you to trust, and why I told you never to give up, because the surprise that is on its way to you will not just bring a smile to your face but will bring healing to your soul, peace to your heart, and joy to your spirit, for I am not a God who abandons his children. I am the God who lifts them up in the exact moment when they feel weakest, the God who gives beauty for ashes, the God who transforms pain into power and sorrow into songs of victory. And right now I am whispering to your soul that something good, something powerful, something unexpected is about to break through the barriers that once held you back. And when it does, you will know that it was not luck, it was not coincidence, it was not chance, it was divine timing, it was my love, it was my hand guiding you into the life I always intended for you to live, a life where blessings flow not because of your perfection but because of my grace. A life where doors open not because of your strength but because of my favor, and a life where you rise not because you never fell but because I was there to lift you every time you stumbled, for I see the exhaustion in your spirit, the weight you carry silently, the fears you try to hide, and I want to remind you that you do not walk this journey alone, for I have always been closer than your very breath, and though you may have doubted, though you may have felt abandoned, I never left, I never forgot you, I never turned away, instead I held you even when you could not feel me, and now the season of waiting is shifting into a season of receiving, the season of tears is turning into a season of laughter. And the days of wondering when will transform into days of saying now, for the surprise I have prepared is not small, it is not ordinary, it is not temporary, it is life-changing, soul-restoring, heart-healing, and spirit-lifting, and when it enters your life you will testify that my promises are real, my timing is perfect, and my love never fails. So prepare yourself, open your heart, release your doubts, because what is coming next is greater than what you lost, brighter than what you imagined, and closer than you think. And when it arrives you will know that I have been faithful all along, for the breakthrough you prayed for is already on its way to your door. God says, I know how many times you questioned whether the waiting was worth it. How many times you whispered to yourself that maybe you were forgotten. How many times you almost convinced yourself that nothing good could come from your struggle. But I am here to remind you that every second of waiting has been watering the seeds of your future. Every tear you shed has been carrying a silent prayer into my hands, and every moment of pain has been shaping you into someone who can hold the blessing without fear of losing it. For I do not give you things to destroy you, I give you things to elevate you. And I do not let storms come to drown you, I let storms come to teach you how to walk on water, and I know you feel like you have been in the storm for too long, but this storm is clearing and the sun is rising again, bringing with it a radiant light that will expose the path you have been searching for, and when you see it you will realize that I never left you wandering. I was guiding your every step even when you thought you were lost. I was holding your hand even when you felt empty, and I was planting miracles into your tomorrow even when you could not see them. And now those miracles are about to bloom in ways that will shock you, in ways that will silence your enemies, in ways that will remind you that you are chosen, loved, and destined for greatness. For I am not finished with you, I am only beginning. And though you have been through seasons where everything seemed to fall apart, you are now walking into a season where everything will fall into place. And this surprise that is coming is not something you need to chase, it is something that will find you, because blessings do not miss their destination, my promises do not expire, and my word never returns void, and I have declared over your life that you will rise, you will prosper, you will be restored, and you will shine, for the pain you endured was not in vain, it was preparation, it was refining, it was molding you so that when the blessing comes you will not just enjoy it, you will treasure it, you will protect it, and you will know without a doubt that it came from my hand. And in that moment every sleepless night will make sense, every heartbreak will make sense, every delay will make sense. Because the blessing will be so big that it will overshadow the pain of the past, the surprise so powerful that it will erase the heaviness of yesterday, and the joy so abundant that you will forget how it felt to live in constant worry. For I am about to turn your mourning into dancing, your fear into faith, and your weakness into strength. And you will know that I am not a distant God but a present Father who cares for every detail of your life, even the ones you thought were too small for me to notice. And this is why I say to you again, prepare, because the big surprise is closer than you think, and soon your life will shift in a way that will feel like a dream, yet it will be reality. My reality, my promise, my gift for you. God says, I have seen you in the quiet moments when no one else was watching, when you put on a smile in front of others but behind closed doors you let the tears fall, when you carried burdens on your shoulders that were never meant to be carried alone, when you stayed strong for everyone else while your own strength was fading. And I want you to know that none of it went unseen. None of it was ignored, for I have been watching and I have been recording. Every silent cry, every whispered prayer, every step of endurance you took even when you felt like collapsing, and I want you to understand something deep in your soul, you have not been forgotten. You have not been abandoned, you have not been left behind, for my hand has been upon you even in the nights when you thought you were invisible. And the reason I allowed you to walk through such deep valleys is because I was preparing a mountaintop that would be worth the climb, and though the climb was steep and the nights were cold and the road was rough, what is waiting at the top will make every struggle worth it. For the surprise I am sending into your life is not just a small gift, it is a monumental shift. A breakthrough that will realign everything that was broken, a blessing that will bring clarity to the confusion, healing to the wounds, and joy to the sorrow, for I am not a God who plays with the hearts of my children. I am a God who fulfills His promises, who restores what was stolen, who multiplies what was lost, and who brings beauty from the ashes of your pain. And I say to you now, lift up your head and get ready, because the season of loss is ending, the season of delay is breaking, the chains of fear are falling, and the floodgates of blessings are opening. And when they open, they will not trickle slowly, they will pour out in abundance. More than you asked for, more than you imagined, more than you dared to dream, because I am the God of more than enough. I am the God of sudden breakthroughs. I am the God of unexpected surprises, and I am about to prove to you that your faith, even when it was small, even when it wavered, was not wasted, for I do not require perfect faith, I require willing hearts, and you have remained willing even when weary, hopeful even when tired, open even when hurt, and now I will reward you openly for what you carried privately. For those who doubted you will witness your elevation. Those who laughed at you will see your transformation. Those who walked away from you will be shocked when they see the blessings that follow you, because this surprise is not just for your joy, it is for my glory, so that the world may know that I am still a miracle-working God, that I still raise the broken, that I still answer prayers, that I still fulfill promises, and you will be the living testimony, the walking example, the shining light that reveals my goodness to others. And when you look back, you will finally understand why it took so long, why it hurt so much, and why it seemed impossible, because the magnitude of what I am about to do required the depth of what you went through. And when I raise you, you will not rise trembling in fear, you will rise standing strong in faith, clothed in wisdom, crowned with resilience, and overflowing with gratitude, and your enemies will not be able to deny that my hand is upon you, for no one will be able to explain the suddenness of your blessing except by acknowledging that it was divine, and in that moment you will see that everything you endured was not for nothing. It was for this big surprise that is arriving swiftly, silently, powerfully, and when it unfolds, your life will never be the same again. God says, you have been through nights when you thought the morning would never come, through seasons when every door seemed to close, through battles that left you questioning your own worth. But I was with you in every single moment. I was the strength that carried you when you felt empty. I was the whisper that told you to hold on one more day. I was the unseen shield that protected you from dangers you did not even know were near. And now I want you to understand that the heaviness you carried was never a punishment, it was a preparation. The reason it seemed so heavy is because the blessing I am sending into your life is so great, so weighty, so extraordinary, and I needed to make sure your spirit could carry it, that your heart could receive it, that your soul could treasure it, because this surprise is not ordinary, it is not fleeting, it is not temporary. It is a destiny-shifting, life-renewing, heart-healing breakthrough that will change everything for you, and when it arrives you will feel the weight of despair fall off your shoulders, you will feel the chains of fear break apart, you will feel the anxiety that used to wake you at night melt into peace, because I am pouring into your life not just things, Not just opportunities, but peace, joy, restoration, and renewal. And I am not doing this because of your perfection but because of my love, for my love does not require you to be flawless. It requires you to be open, and you have been open even in your brokenness. You have whispered prayers even when you felt too tired to speak. You have carried hope even when hope seemed foolish, and I have heard every prayer. I have seen every tear. I have counted every sigh, and none of it has been wasted, for it all became a seed, and those seeds are now blossoming into blessings that will overwhelm you with joy. Blessings that will silence your doubts, blessings that will remind you that I never left, I never abandoned, I never ignored you, and though the world may have overlooked you, I never did. And now I will place in your hands something so beautiful, so unexpected, so miraculous that you will know without a doubt that it came from me. And people around you will marvel and ask how such a sudden shift happened, and you will simply say it was God, it was His hand, it was His promise fulfilled, because this surprise is not coming slowly, it is coming suddenly. One moment you will be in the waiting, and the next moment you will be holding what you once only dreamed of. One moment you will be questioning when, and the next moment you will be overwhelmed by how quickly I moved, because I am a God of sudden miracles, and I am a God of perfect timing, and though it has felt like forever, you will soon realize that I was never late, I was always right on time, and now your time has come, your breakthrough is here, your surprise is ready. And you will stand in awe at the goodness I am about to pour into your life. God says, there have been moments when you thought your prayers were bouncing off the walls, when you looked at the sky and wondered if I was even listening, when you carried questions that seemed too heavy for your heart, and yet you still whispered my name, you still looked for me in the silence, you still chose to believe when everything around you told you not to, and that faith, even as small as a seed, has moved mountains in the unseen, has shifted battles you never even knew were being fought on your behalf, and now you are standing on the edge of a season that will leave you speechless, because what I am about to release into your life will be unlike anything you have ever known. It will not be a repeat of your past, it will not carry the weight of old pain, it will not resemble the struggles that once chained you. It will be fresh, new, radiant, overflowing, and so powerful that it will feel as though you are stepping into a brand new life, and you will, because I am making all things new. I am rewriting the chapters that once brought you sorrow. I am restoring the years that felt stolen. I am breathing life into the dreams you thought had died, and I am surprising you with blessings that will not only meet your needs but will exceed your expectations, blessings that will remind you daily that I am not just a provider, I am a Father who delights in giving good gifts to His children. And I know you have felt forgotten. I know you have wondered if I chose others and overlooked you, but I am telling you now that I have chosen you, I have called you, I have set you apart, and though the road has been long, it has been leading you to this very moment, the moment when everything shifts, when what was once delayed will suddenly be delivered, when what was once broken will suddenly be made whole. when what was once lost will suddenly be returned multiplied, for I am the God who redeems, the God who restores, the God who surprises with goodness, and I am doing this in your life because your story is not over, your purpose is not finished, and your future is brighter than your past. So let go of the fear that whispers nothing will change, let go of the doubt that says you are not worthy, let go of the voices that try to convince you that it is too late, for I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and I say to you it is not too late, it is right on time, and soon you will see that the pain you carried was the pathway to the promise, the delays were the preparation for destiny, and the battles were the sharpening of your spirit, and now the surprise will be the proof that none of it was wasted, none of it was meaningless, for I turn all things for good, and I am turning everything in your life right now, aligning people, places, opportunities, and moments so that the blessing arrives exactly when you need it. Not one day too soon, not one day too late, and when it comes you will finally breathe deeply, rest fully, smile freely, and know in the core of your being that you are loved, you are chosen, you are seen, and you are about to step into the most abundant season of your life. God says, I know how long you have waited, how many times you have felt like giving up, how often you have watched others move forward while you stood still wondering when it would finally be your turn, and I want you to hear me clearly now. Your turn has come, the waiting has not been wasted, the delay has not been denial, it has only been my way of preparing you so that when the surprise I have planned for you arrives, you will be ready to embrace it fully, you will be able to carry it with strength, and you will be wise enough to protect it, because what I am about to place in your hands is not something fragile that will break away, it is not something temporary that will fade, it is a lasting gift, a divine shift, a blessing that will change not only your present but also your future. And I want you to trust that this is not something you will have to fight for or chase down, it is something that will come to you effortlessly because it has already been written with your name on it, and no one else can take what I have designed specifically for you, no enemy can block it, no circumstance can stop it. No delay can cancel it, because when I open a door, no one can shut it, and when I say it is your season, no force in heaven or earth can reverse it, and this is your season, this is your moment, this is the time when the pieces of your life begin to align, when the broken things begin to heal, when the dreams you thought were over begin to live again, and when you will see with your own eyes that I have been faithful through it all, faithful when you did not understand, faithful when you were afraid, faithful when you almost lost hope, because my love for you does not waver, it does not shift with circumstances, it does not decrease when you fail, it is constant, unchanging, and eternal. And that love is now manifesting in your life in the form of a surprise so big, so beautiful, so undeniable that it will bring tears of joy to your eyes and gratitude to your heart, and when it arrives you will finally understand why I told you to keep going, why I told you to trust, why I told you not to give up, because what I have prepared for you is worth every moment of endurance, worth every step of the journey, worth every battle you fought, and soon you will see that nothing was wasted. Not a tear, not a prayer, not a moment of faith, because all of it has brought you to this divine turning point, and when the breakthrough comes it will not just touch one area of your life. It will overflow into many. It will bring restoration to places you thought were too broken. It will bring opportunities you never expected. It will bring peace where there was once chaos, and it will fill your heart with the kind of joy that no one can take away, for this is not just a blessing, this is a testimony, a living proof of my power, my goodness, and my promises fulfilled, and you will walk in it fully, freely, and without fear, because it is yours, it has always been yours, and now the time has come for you to receive it. God says, you have been through battles that others would not have survived, you have faced storms that threatened to break you, you have endured nights when you felt utterly alone, but through it all you kept going, even if you moved slowly, even if you stumbled, even if you doubted, you still moved, you still hoped, you still prayed, and that is why I am about to reward you in a way that will shake the very ground beneath your feet. Because I am not just sending you an ordinary blessing, I am sending you a divine surprise that will rewrite your story, that will shift your atmosphere, that will break the cycles that have kept you bound, that will lift the heaviness from your heart. And that will remind you that I am not a man that I should lie, that every promise I made over your life will be fulfilled, and though the enemy tried to convince you that you were forgotten, he lied. Though circumstances tried to tell you that you were stuck, they lied. Though voices around you tried to make you believe it was over, they lied. Because my truth has always been greater than the lies, and my truth is this: you are chosen, you are loved, you are destined, and you are stepping into a season where the doors that were locked will suddenly swing wide open, where the opportunities that were withheld will suddenly appear before you, where the relationships that were broken will either be restored in beauty or replaced with something far greater, where the resources you lacked will suddenly overflow, because I am a God of abundance, not scarcity, a God of increase, not decrease, a God of open heavens, not closed doors, and I am releasing into your life something that will feel like a dream but will be your reality, something that will carry so much joy and peace that it will silence the pain of your past, something that will remind you every single day that I have been with you through it all, and when it comes it will not come in pieces, it will come in fullness, it will not come with sorrow, it will come with peace, it will not come with fear, it will come with security, because this is not the kind of blessing that slips away. It is the kind that stays, that grows, that multiplies, that sustains, and I want you to prepare your heart, because I am about to place in your hands something you thought you lost forever. I am about to breathe life into something you thought was gone. I am about to turn the very area of your greatest pain into the testimony of your greatest joy. And people will look at you and see transformation so undeniable that they will know it was only possible through me, and in that moment you will realize that your pain had purpose, your delays had meaning, and your story had destiny, for I never waste anything, I never abandon my children, and I never forget the promises I made, and now the time has come. The hour is near, and the surprise I have kept hidden for you is ready to burst forth into your life like the dawn breaking after the darkest night, and when you see it you will say with tears of gratitude that it was worth it all, worth the wait, worth the pain, worth the endurance, because what I am about to do in your life will be so beautiful that even your past struggles will no longer sting. They will only shine as proof of how far I have carried you and how faithful I have always been. God says, you may not realize it now, but every single trial you walked through, every sleepless night you endured, every tear that wet your pillow, every heartbreak that shattered your spirit, all of it was shaping you, building you, preparing you for a moment such as this, and though at the time it felt like punishment, though it felt like abandonment, though it felt like silence from heaven, I was with you, closer than you imagined, working in the unseen, aligning pieces you could not see, protecting you from things you did not even know were threats, and using the very weight of your struggles to strengthen you for the blessing that is now about to pour into your life, because the truth is the blessing I am sending is so heavy with goodness, so abundant in glory, so overwhelming in peace and joy, that had it come too soon it might have crushed you, had it come before the refining it might have slipped through your fingers. But now you are ready, now you are strong, now you are steady enough to carry what I am about to release, and when it comes you will understand why the road was so rough, why the waiting seemed so long, why the pruning felt so painful, because it was all necessary for what I am placing in your life, and this surprise is not just for you, it is for those connected to you, for the generations after you, for the people who will be blessed through your testimony, because what I am doing now will not stop with you, it will flow through you, touching lives around you, shining my glory to others who need hope, and your story will be living proof that I am still a miracle-working God, still a God who answers prayers, still a God who lifts the broken and crowns them with joy, still a God who takes the forgotten and places them in positions of honor, still a God who redeems time and restores what was lost. And when you step into this season of divine surprise you will no longer carry the same weight of yesterday, because the chains are breaking, the heaviness is lifting, the cycles are ending, and the door to your new life is opening wide. And as you walk through it you will not be walking in fear but in boldness, not in uncertainty but in confidence, not in sorrow but in laughter, for I am turning your mourning into dancing, your ashes into beauty, your despair into rejoicing, and every single promise I whispered to your soul in the dark will now be revealed in the light. And you will stand amazed at how perfectly everything fits together, how even the detours were part of the plan, how even the heartbreaks were building the foundation for joy, how even the losses were clearing space for greater gain, because I never wasted a single moment of your journey, and now you will see that I have been faithful, I have been true, I have been constant. And the surprise that is coming into your life will be undeniable proof that my love for you has never wavered, that my plans for you have always been for good, and that your best days are not behind you but just beginning, for you are stepping into the fullness of what I have always intended for you, and no force, no voice, no lie, and no opposition can stop it, because when I decree a thing it must come to pass, and I have decreed that your season of sorrow is ending and your season of abundance is beginning, so open your heart wide, because what is coming will exceed even the wildest prayers you ever dared to pray. God says, there were times when you thought the darkness would swallow you. When you looked at your life and saw only broken pieces scattered on the ground, when you questioned why others seemed to rise so easily while you kept facing setback after setback, and yet even in those moments something inside you kept holding on, some small spark of faith refused to die, and that spark was enough for me to work with. Because I do not measure you by the size of your faith but by the persistence of your heart, and your heart has continued to reach for me even when you felt too weak to pray, even when your words failed you, even when your strength was gone, and because of that I have carried you through seasons that should have destroyed you. I have protected you from situations that should have broken you completely. I have shielded you from attacks that were designed to end your purpose, and though you felt weary, you never lost your calling. Though you felt abandoned, you were never alone. Though you felt delayed, you were never denied, because my timing has been guiding everything, and now that timing is unfolding in your favor. Now the pieces that seemed scattered will fit together, now the doors that seemed closed will burst wide open, now the joy that seemed unreachable will flood your spirit, because I am sending a surprise so perfectly crafted for you that it will answer questions you have carried for years, it will heal wounds that have lingered in silence, it will restore opportunities you thought were gone forever, and it will pour into your life such peace that you will finally breathe without fear, finally rest without worry, finally smile without pretending, because this is the kind of blessing that transforms not just your circumstances but your very being. It shifts your atmosphere. It elevates your perspective. It rewrites your story, and when it comes you will see how I have been orchestrating things all along, how even the delays were protection, how even the losses were redirection, how even the heartbreaks were preparation, and you will know that I am a God who never wastes pain, who never abandons his children, who never breaks his promises, and what is coming for you will silence every voice of doubt, every whisper of fear, every memory of failure, because the joy that is about to flood your life will be greater than the sorrow that once consumed you. The peace that is about to wrap around you will be stronger than the storms that once surrounded you, and the breakthrough that is about to arrive will be so sudden, so undeniable, so miraculous that people around you will have no explanation except that it was divine, and you will lift your hands in gratitude, you will bow your head in awe, you will weep tears of joy that cleanse every trace of despair, because you will know that I have always been faithful, always been present, always been guiding you toward this very moment.